been going. I'm curious what your thoughts on him possibly being passed up for a coaching position again.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of it's crazy. I guess would be the best word to describe it. I mean, to see the stuff that comes out and then knowing the man that he is and the coach that he is every single day, you don't understand where the stuff comes from. You understand how great of a coach he is, how great of a person he is, how great of a leader he is. And so it's crazy that he hasn't got his chance to become a head coach. But I promise you, he'll keep grinding and keep getting better and better and keep helping us out. Which is the positive at the end of the day, and hopefully help us continue to go to these AFC Championship games and go into more Super Bowls.
Let's go next to Pete Sweeney. Go ahead, Pete.
Right, I'll just have one quick thing after this. Patrick, in covering you the past couple of years, I mean, it's been pretty clear that you're like, ultra competitive. You want to be out there. How difficult was this week with the biggest game of the season coming up to not be able to do certain things?
You have to take it day by day. I think that's the biggest thing. You can only control what you can control. And for me, that was coming in every single day with a positive attitude, trying to make myself better, prepare myself as if I was going to play. And luckily enough, I haven't had any symptoms and I'm able to play. And so I just prepared myself and controlled what I could control. And luckily enough, we're at where we're at now.
And then just the other thing, it looked like you were a little bit hindered by your toe in that last game. Was wondering how you're feeling in that regard.
It's feeling a lot better. I mean, the next day was very sore, and then every single day since then has gotten a lot better. And it's stuff that you deal with being a football player. As you deal with injuries, and luckily enough for me, it wasn't as bad as it looked, and it felt that day of and that day after.
Got time for a couple more. We'll go Harold and then Sarin. Go ahead, Harold.
Patrick, glad you're feeling better, man. When it comes down to just preparing for the Bills, I know so much talk has been about concussion protocol, but what have you actually seen out of the Bills that is different what you faced in Week 6?
Yeah, I mean, even when we faced them in Week 6, that was a really good football team, and they've continued to get better and better each and every week. And that's what when you're at this point of the season, you're playing great football teams. And so they have great players at every single level on their defense. Obviously, they have a tremendous offense. And we expect them to come out and be aggressive like they've been playing the last few weeks. And so we'll be prepared for whatever they show us and try to counteract that with our best foot forward and try to find a way to win a football game.
We'll go last to Sarin Petro. Go ahead, Sarin.
Patrick, the Texans job is still out there. This is in reference to what you said about Eric Bieniemy, Coach Bieniemy. There's reports that Deshaun Watson has said Eric Bieniemy is a guy he would like to have. I know the quarterback club's a pretty tight group. Have you spoken with Deshaun? Will you speak with Deshaun? Is it something that you'd have an interest in doing?
Yeah, I talked to him last offseason. It's kind of during the season you don't talk to those guys as much because obviously you're trying to go out there and win football games. But maybe after the season I might shoot him a text or something like that. But I kind of let that stuff kind of handle itself. I know Coach Bieniemy has done everything the right way and prepared himself to take whatever opportunity that is. And if it happens, I'm very happy for him. If it doesn't, he'll continue to grind and be a great offense coordinator for us. So I'm just happy that he's getting these opportunities to go out there and interview, and hopefully one of these teams will be.
Can I get a Super Bowl champ? There he is. Perfect timing. Jeff Saturday. Good to see you. I like the whole blue tie thing. I like the whole look. I'm going to get to Stephen A, though, here on this. What's at stake for Mahomes this weekend, Stephen A?
Well, listen, if he doesn't play because of injury, nothing. But if he plays and he doesn't play well, then all the hoopla and Max Kellerman and everybody else has been giving him, we just might need to modify it just a touch. There is nothing to take away from the reality that Patrick Mahomes is great and phenomenal and a Super Bowl champion and a league MVP by the time he's 25. We got all of that. But for me, at this particular moment in time, when I look at a football world that walked around like they forgot about the greatness of Aaron Rodgers, who's about to win. Now he's showing up again. He's about to win league MVP. He's 37 years of age in his 13th season. Okay, this brother threw for 48 touchdowns, just 5 interceptions. He's in an NFC championship game. He might be in the Super Bowl come Monday. Okay, and oh, by the way, if he ends up going against Patrick Mahomes and he beats Patrick Mahomes, what are we going to say then?
I know what you're going to say.
So my point is that that's the only issue. That's the only debate here. I don't want anybody to let's make sure we understand exactly where I'm coming from. Patrick Mahomes is phenomenal and great. He's a champion, a league MVP, all of those things. But this notion that, guess what? There's no need to discuss who's the best in the world. It is an insult to Aaron Rodgers to think that that argument is closed. It is not closed.
That's a straw man argument because I always said that in other words, like it's a fake argument. Like I never dismissed Aaron Rodgers.
He knows what it means.
Aaron Rodgers was the best I'd ever seen until Patrick Mahomes. I still take Patrick Mahomes, but it's by a hair for Mahomes. If he doesn't play, and Aaron Rodgers goes on to win the Super Bowl, Stephen A. will crown Aaron Rodgers the best player
No.
in the
If he
world.
doesn't play this week, he's definitely going to play by the Super Bowl.
If he doesn't play this week, I'm telling you right now, he ain't going to be playing by the Super Bowl because they ain't going to win without Patrick Mahomes.
I agree with that, though.
He ain't just coming in. There's no trick play for Chad Henne at the last second by Andy Reid, a fake of a fake. That's not going to happen. They won't be in a position to win. I think that no one in the history of the NFL, at least in my lifetime, has ever started their career like Patrick Mahomes. The first time he was a starter, he threw 50 touchdowns to 12 interceptions. One MVP of the league, was one pre-snap penalty away from going to the Super Bowl, which I believe they would have won. The next season, he improved his touchdown interception ratio and won Super Bowl MVP by calling his own number, dropping like 15 steps, and throwing a 60-yard bomb. The next year, this season, he was the leader for MVP throughout a lot of the season.
2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi.
Oh, please, Stephen A.
He was the front runner for
Down the
MVP.
field.
Aaron Rodgers is going to win it. He deserved it. I just point out, Patrick Mahomes was 14-1 as a starter this year. Again, improved his touchdown interception ratio. And here's the big thing for me, Jeff Saturday. It's the only time I've experienced this as a football fan. If he's healthy, I like his team to win the Super Bowl every year before the season starts. Patrick Mahomes is the only player I've ever seen, including Aaron Rodgers, who makes me feel that way. If Mahomes is healthy, I like the Chiefs. So, like, if he doesn't play, they lose. If he plays, I'm very confident they win.
You know, the greatest part about listening to you and just hearing the whole thing is I think we have Tom Brady still playing in an NFC championship game for his 14 championship games coming up this Sunday. So when we start talking about best in the world, all the different things, the man has rings on 2 different hands. I got Stephen A. yapping about Aaron Rodgers, who is, I think he's 1-3 in championship games. I'm hearing you tell me how all of a sudden Patrick Mahomes, who by the way was 1 completion from Jimmy Garoppolo away from maybe not having all the context that we talk about and where he is as a quarterback. The kid is a baller. Like that we have to crown him as the greatest of whatever is ridiculous when you have a guy who's playing for his 14th championship game, man. 14th. And by the way, he left where he did it for almost 20 years and he went to the first team and everybody, including you two, wrote him off about a month ago, said ain't no way to getting back. They were good to be 10 and whatever. This is what's expected. I can't even remember how many times this is what's expected. No. Listen, he has continued to ascend as the season has progressed, and you're talking about the 14th time he's taken his team and delivered. I don't care what numbers, how many touchdowns, how many interceptions, how many all those things. The bottom line is the guy who wins the most is still playing Sunday, and this is the talk we're having. Like, how about we don't move on until, because I know you've wanted to move on for many years, Max. You've been talking about the cliff for dang near 10 years, so I don't know whether that cliff just keeps on going out, right? It's into yonder. I'm not sure when it hits, but I know there's no cliff right now because he's got a team pointing up to the championship again.
Look, here's the thing, Jeff.
So he didn't play. Listen, hold on. You don't think Tom Brady played fantastic this season?
Yes, especially considering his age. I wouldn't say he was a top 3 MVP candidate, but I did think he played very well. He's on a stacked team, both sides of the ball, but he still played very well, especially first year with a new team, different philosophy, COVID, can't practice. He deserves all the credit in the world. Bottom line is, in the NFC Championship game, hats off to him. But let's be honest. Tom Brady, early in his career, though he won a lot right away, was not considered right away, oh, that's the best player in football. Patrick Mahomes had, like, Aaron Rodgers and Brett Favre had a baby. The gunslinger stuff of Favre with the precision and mistake-free football of Rodgers, and he's winning like Brady. He's playing in the years. His third year. He's already almost been to 2 Super Bowls and won one.
You know why? You know why he wasn't looked upon like Patrick Mahomes? Because he's a 6th-round pick that the starter gets hurt that he comes in. He wasn't already. Had that guy gotten drafted as the heir apparent to Drew Bledsoe, it would have been a whole different context for New England and what this was. I agree with you. New England won a bunch of games, but don't ever bypass where guys start in the game. Helps with the push and helps with the wave. And all those things. Every GM who drafts a guy and moves up 2 spots wants to make sure that name gets put out. Hey, I traded up for that guy. I did this for that guy.
Tom Brady was great.
Listen, he's earned. He has earned it. But don't act like Tom Brady was just some kind of slouch who didn't play well. They played a different style of football 20 years ago, right? Like this whole game has changed, man. We play patty cake on the outside. You can't touch your freaking quarterback, otherwise you're getting 15 yards and might get ejected out of the game. So don't put numbers on me of how them dudes had to play like for real ball when I first came in. They were getting really hit, Max. We don't hit them anymore, man. We don't hit them anymore. Listen, we had Patrick Mahomes and everybody was upset, including his parents on social media about the hit that he took this past weekend. I'm not saying that's not fair. I'm saying it's a completely different time when you're talking about what Tom Brady has done this thing 20 years, bro. 20 years. And Aaron Rodgers for a long time as well. So when you talk about what he did, it was all because of how he came in.
Mahomes' career to Tom Brady's career. I'm talking about right now. Tom Brady early in his career was great. You're right. You're absolutely right. 2-to-1 touchdown interception ratio, fewer yards thrown because the game was different. No question. And he did what he had to do. But let's face it, those were essentially defensive teams coached by Bill Belichick. And Brady was game manager plus early on. Be big on 3rd down, get a great field goal kicker in position to kick a field goal to win the game. As he matured and the game changed, now it's carry an offense. That came later for Tom Brady. Patrick Mahomes entered the league year 1 as a starter. This is an offensive team. You carry the offense, and he's done it so far through 3 years better than anyone who's ever done it in their first 3 years. That's all I'm saying.
Jeff Saturday.
Andy Reid.
Jeff Saturday, I'm not scared of you. I'm not scared of you. Let me tell you something, Jeff Saturday. Okay? you have an obligation not just to articulate your argument, but to listen to others. We have religiously, I'll speak for myself because Mac should be banned from talking about Tom Brady. Security should actually come in and score.
I second that.
I'm the only one who can give Tom Brady credit right now. You all assume this would happen.
No, not after the nonsense you spewed for the last 4 years. You don't even deserve to have a part of this conversation. But I'll tell you this, Jeff. What we recognize about Tom Brady is that Tom Brady is the greatest winner of them all in the modern era. There is no question about that. 6 Super Bowl champions, 9 Super Bowl appearances. We get all of that. Nobody's resume compares to his. When we're talking about greatness, what we're talking about also is the talent that you see, understanding that your resume does not compare to Tom Brady, that you haven't accomplished. In terms of being able to scramble, having wheels, not just an arm, being able to scramble outside of the pocket to your left or right and do some of the things that we've seen both Patrick Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers does. That's the only reason why the comparison to those two come about. There is no comparison to Tom Brady in any other category. We understand that. But when it comes to just pure talent, remember how you used to look at Dan Marino flinging the football? Now, he could not run a snail. But my God, could that man throw the football? We understood that about Dan Marino. There was something special about what you were seeing from him, even though it was Montana and others that were winning Super Bowl titles. So we understand the difference here. In the end, what you've done is you've made a stronger case, as you should, because you're the Super Bowl champion, you're the former football player, you're the aficionado when it comes to this. You made my argument for me when it comes to Aaron Rodgers compared to Patrick Mahomes. You're saying resume matters. The game is modified. It has changed. Football was played, a different brand of football was played back in the day compared to what it is now. And look at what Aaron Rodgers did back a decade ago, and look at what he's doing right now. This brother is special, and what I'm saying is, as a result of that, if you sit up there and you look at him going against Mahomes, and he ends up going to the Super Bowl against Mahomes and beating Mahomes, it would validate what I had been saying all along. Regardless of the greatness that you saw from Patrick Mahomes, it ain't written in stone that this dude is something that Aaron Rodgers never was nor ever could be. It wasn't finished finished with Aaron Rodgers, and Aaron Rodgers has proved that this year. And I think he's about to prove it right now.
Mahomes wins so far in his career like he's Tom Brady or Joe Montana. He has an electric arm and gunslings like he's Brett Favre. He has the decision-making ability of Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers. He can run. What can't he do? He doesn't throw interceptions. Like
I don't know what you've been watching. I've seen plenty of times where Mahomes hasn't looked great. Plenty.
I haven't.
Max.
I haven't.
Max. Let's ask this, Max. We've seen the win or how many points they're winning by shrink, right? Pretty significantly this year from last year, right? Mm-hmm. So as the league continues to catch up, the reality is catching up with Andy Reid and Eric Bieniemy, right? Like that catch up matters. When you talked about Tom Brady coming in the league, he played for a defensive-minded coach, so they're not going to air it all out. When Aaron Rodgers was in Green Bay with Mike McCarthy, they had that Brett Favre mentality where they did want the quarterback to move. They did want him to use some athleticism. They did want him to do some different things. So when you're trying to compare those guys, so you're telling me you don't think if Aaron Rodgers had been with Andy Reid for however much time it's been, he wouldn't look identical to what Patrick Mahomes?
I think so.
That's
I think Rodgers is the one guy who basically looked
man.
good. I think Rodgers is the one guy who would have basically done what Mahomes did. By the way, third straight year, as a starter, third straight championship game, Patrick Mahomes. Yes, I think Rodgers is the one dude who could basically do what Mahomes is doing.
That's what I've been telling you all along.
For sure.
When I was saying
said
that
no.
that's why I can't sit up there and look at Patrick Mahomes and say there's no reason to even discuss anybody else.
I never said no to that.
There.
I never said no to that. All I said was we don't know if Rodgers is still in his prime or if he's just getting used to LaFleur.
Oh.
It turns out he's still great. So, yeah, the best of Rodgers is very comparable to the best of Mahomes. If I had to choose, I'll take Mahomes.
Yeah, 2 years with LaFleur has shown you how good Aaron Rodgers is. And listen, much beyond just the gunning and running, like play checks, where he's putting the advancement of the game, Aaron Rodgers is on a different level now. Like don't sleep with. I mean, you can look at the way they put their scheme together, and they literally put it in Aaron's hands of what he's done. I'm obviously not stepping away from Stephen A. He does make a very strong point about Aaron Rodgers in the fact of those similar styles. And the other part about that, from the whole top down is how many years has Aaron Rodgers been able to do that? My only issue with the Mahomes argument is it's fast, man. And you're talking about we're like in this microwave society. We want to make these and cast these decisions so quickly. All we're saying is don't push the old heads out yet. Don't push them out yet. They're still hanging on, and it's not like they're game managing. These guys are still balling and taking their teams to the places they want to go.
All right, Jeff Saturday, I need you to bring that same intensity for this next topic I want to get your take on as well. We're going to go to